Every upgrade has an origin.
Hey, what's up my peoples? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the DNA Design DK-62 kit for Studio Series Transformers 1 Optimus Prime and Megatron. So here we are, and there it is, and first and foremost, as always, we'll take a quick look at the packaging right up front here. We just have some axes. DK-62, Gear Master for SS-112, SS-114, on this side DK-62, 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 on the bottom words, things, barcodes. On the back of the box you have your obligatory product shots, and that is basically it for the packaging. And moving right along, here we have the, well, it's an upgrade slash accessory kit for the Studio Series Transformers 1 Optimus and Megs, and here is everything you get with the kit. Well, almost everything. But we'll go through what you get here. So first we get a new Energon axe for Prime. That's more screen accurate, and that looks really good. I love that metallic paint there on it. We get two axes, actually. You get this one, and then you get the kind of traditional completely orange axe, which I did not open because I'm probably not going to use it, but hey, you get that as well. We get the blaster here, and this is the blaster that they pretty much all used in the movie. Very nicely done. You have a little handle here. I mean, the little finger guard, you can move out of the way so you can access the handle. But nicely done. We get a new cannon for Megs, a triple-barreled cannon. That looks quite nice. What else do we get? We get this little barrel here. That's for Megs. Little blaster. We get some new heads. So this is the back of the head. Terrifying, I know, but we get like optional faces for it. So we get the mouth plate face, as well as kind of an open mouth, kind of talky face, as well as just a serious face. And we get new head for Megs. Again, we get the back of the head piece. That will stay on the figure. And then we have these swappable faces. So we get a Grr face, as well as a screaming "Rise Up" face. So we get that. We get some new forearms here for Prime. And already installed on these hands. We get hands with some posable fingers. Just 4 fingers linked together, but they can open and close. And we get a new crotch piece for Megatron, and this gives him more of a waist. Like that. And we have swappable hands for Prime. So we get a pair of just kind of relaxed open hands. We get a pair of just molded closed fists. We get a pointing finger because he has to be able to heroically point. We get another hand that I will show off later, but that is pretty much everything you get with the kits. Oh, one more thing, sorry. That's not everything we get with the kits. One more thing we get with the kit is this little, this is really pointless, that's why I totally forgot about it. But we get this little, kind of a little display stand for some of the accessories. Yeah, I don't care about this. But hey, again, that is everything you get with the kit. So we'll start off with this bit right here and just get this out of the way. This is basically for storage. Hooray for storage. But this bit here is for the axe that Prime originally came with, which kind of makes no sense because if I'm buying this kit, I'm using this axe, so I'm probably not going to keep this one. But anyway, you just store that axe right there. This little clip is for the blaster, and that just clips in right there. And then you have 4 ports here, and that is just to store your extra hands. So you could store 4 of them in here. You can't store all of them, but you can store 4 of them in here. And there you have your storage. Hooray for storage. Now, again, this is going to serve me no use whatsoever because any leftover parts are just going to go in a baggie and go in a drawer. But hey, if you can make use of this, God bless you. As always, to each their own. Display things however you wish. So let's start off with Prime, and first we got to do some part swap-ins. So we're going to replace his forearms. So these are just on a mushroom peg, so you just give it a little twisty twist. And Sometimes these are stiff. Oh, there we go. Just rip his forearm off. Then we take the new forearm and just clip that in. There we go. Do that. And you gotta do that to both sides. And there you go. Now he has his new forearms there. You still have your articulation, you still have the rotation, you still have that elbow bend, you got wrist rotation, you actually have some up and down movement as well. And again, you have those hands that can open and close. And of course, if you want, you can swap out the hands, and we can give him his blaster here. So we just open that up and just feed that into his hand. Close that up. There you go. We can pew pew bang bang, and all of that good stuff. And again, we can swap out the hands. They're just pegged in. You can put whatever hands in there you want. Plug this one in. Although it's a little bit annoying because the port wants to kind of move around on you. There you go. You can have him, you know, heroically pointing, doing all that good stuff. Or, of course, we can give him the Energon axe. Plug that in. There you go. Now you can pew pew hack hack, and all of that good stuff. So the next thing to swap out is the head. It's just a simple case of grabbing his head and just decapitating him. And we bring in the new headpiece here, and we just pop that on. And now that's terrifying, but now we have our options for what face we can put on. So we can give him, again, the mouth plates, or we can give him just a serious Orion Pax face. Or we can give him, you know, have a smiley, talky Orion Pax face. The face sculpt, it's not the best. It's okay, but still, hey, options, they're good. Now we here at the Freaking Geek Reviews, we endeavor to keep this channel family friendly. Not always successful, but I try, is the point. But today I'm going to have to break that rule because there's one more hand to show off that this kit comes with. And basically now Prime Orion Pax can show you that his finger can transform. Yeah. So that's basically it for the robot mode. So now let's get down to transformation, and you're pretty much transforming him mostly the exact same way. So we're going to go through that real quick. Okay, so now that we're at this point, what we're going to do with the arms now is we're going to open this section up. We're going to rotate the hand so the palm is facing up. Flip that in and then close that up. And now we're going to rotate the arm around. And now we have this slot that will accommodate that tab right there. So now we just line that up. And this is quite snug, by the way. There we go. Get that popped in, get everything else situated, and there we go. Just rotate that back, leave it forward, do whatever you want there. So there you go. There you have Prime in his alt mode. You can see how it kind of tucks the hands away now, which is quite nice. Although now the legs are not kind of locked in, so now you have to kind of make sure that these are at the right angle, at least before the hands kind of held everything in line. But I mean, it's not the end of the world, but you know, at least it tucks the hands away now. Makes everything look a little bit more compact. But hey, now as far as storage, you can take the blaster here. You can open this up, and then you can just kind of take this and just kind of wrap it around that central portion there. And you can have that hanging out back there, and that's pretty much all the storage you get. Well, the axe, there are these ports on either side. The axe does fit in it. Not elegantly, but you can do that. You can do a drive-by slashing. I mean, you know, things you can do if you want to do it, but I don't think that's intentional. But at least you can store the blaster there. But yeah, there you go. So now it's time to work on Megs, and we're going to start off with, well, in an ironic twist of fate, we're going to start by ripping him in half. So, I'm going to remove the backpack just to get it out of the way, and we're basically just going to take his lower body and we're going to rip him in half. Yeah. How do you like it? Oh, sorry. Anyway, so we're going to do that, and then we're going to pop his legs off, and just pop them off the ball joint. Not the easiest thing in the world to do, but pop them off. There we go. Just just a matter of leverage, which I don't have much of. There we go. Whew. All right, so pop those legs off. We don't need this anymore. Now we bring in the new crotch piece and pop these legs back on. There we go. That's not real easy. There we go. There we go. So we have this new waist in place, and now we can take this and plug that back on. As you can see, it actually makes him a little taller, because now he actually has a little bit more of a waist going on there. Now it's a little bit more of a flow there instead of just the hard stop and then the crotch just there. So it gives him more of a waist. And the hips also sit a little bit lower than they did on the original as well. So it actually gives him a little bit of extra height there. And everything else is just kind of aesthetic here. So we can remove this, replace it with that. We can remove this cannon and replace it with the triple-barreled one. That looks cool. You can pew pew bang bang, pew pew bang bang, and all of that good stuff. And again, we can swap out the head, so just pop that off. Pop the new one on. Let's get on that ball joint there. There we go. And it's always terrifying. But again, we can give him those optional faces there. Give him a nice grr face, or give him his screaming, yelling, rage face. That's about what he's saying there. So that is basically it for the robot mode. So again, let's get down to transformation. And again, we're doing everything mostly the same. Alright, so once we're here, what we're doing differently is we have to do some crotch transformation. So you take the crotch piece, and it will come down. And you're basically just gonna leave it pretty much sitting like that. And now the hips will actually shift up. So it helps if you kind of rock the legs down a little bit, and the hips will shift up to basically their original position, like that. And now we can just bring the chest down, and we can get everything else just kind of clipped in the way it was. So once we have everything secured, the new cannon just attaches the same way the old one did. It just tabs in right there, like that. Now as far as this little barrel here, you can just plug this into the side, like so. As far as this here, this original piece, you can just leave it tabbed up top. In the instructions, I have it plugged in like that. You can have it facing forwards. You can have even more weapons facing forward. Again, do what you want. But yeah, there you have Megs in his alt mode. Spin is still the same. But anyway, yeah. You can see how this works out with the kit in place. You can kind of see how the crotch piece kind of helps to fill that in a bit now. And the new cannon there. But oh no, yeah, it does the job. And if you want to keep the original cannon, I mean, you can always just plug it onto the other side. You know, hey, again, more guns. Why not? Dare I say, why not? Your toy, display it however you wish. But there you go. So there you have the DNA kit for Prime and Megs. And yeah, you know, there's nothing really crucial here. There's nothing that you really need to have. I mean, you know, the only things I could argue that are kind of necessities are, you know, maybe the Energon axe. The Energon axe is beautiful, by the way. It's a gorgeous axe. So the axe, the fusion cannon, I would say, yeah, those are things that, you know, I think some people would say are probably, you know, must-haves out of this kit. Everything else is just kind of accessories, just aesthetic stuff, just optional hands, you know, optional faces. Even the new crotch piece for Megs, again, that's not crucial. It's just an aesthetic thing. This kit is really just a case of if you want things a little more screen accurate, you want some more display options, this has got you covered. And as always, options are good. So there you go. Now, I picked this up from TF Safari. I'll put a link to their site in the description down below so you can check that out. And I think that's it. So don't forget to check out EmGo's, check out Love, Peace, Paranormal, follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below. And I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So there is the DNA Design DK-62 kit for Studio Series Transformers 1, Optimus Prime, and Megatron. And this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old because you stop playing. Be a geek, be proud, palm in your face.